President Cyril Ramaphosa is hosting his Ivory Coast counterpart, Alassane Ouattara, for a state visit to South Africa. The pair will embark on bilateral discussions in Pretoria. Topics in the agenda include agriculture, mining and transport. The two heads of state will also sign agreements and address an SA-Ivory Coast business forum. Well, our reporter, Linda Mnisi, is at the Union Buildings and joins us live now. Linda, good morning. A little bit of what we can expect from that read-up, but tell us about previous relations, well, certainly bilateral relations between Ivory Coast and South Africa.
Well, it's set to be indeed a long program today, Hugo, as of course those discussions will be happening behind closed doors for much of the day. And then later on in the day, we're expecting, of course, another business engagement at the CSIR, which is set to start at around 3 o'clock this afternoon. But I can tell you what, by the look of things here at the Union Buildings, the program is set to start at exactly 10 o'clock. You know, Ivorian flags alongside South African flags are already flying high. There's a lot of movement here at the Union Buildings. Ivorian delegates have also started arriving from where I'm standing. In fact, I can see quite a number of them. But they're also joined by South African delegates. I'm talking about the ministers now. We all already spotted the International Relations Minister Naledi Pandor, and from where I'm standing I can already also see the Minister of Arts and Culture Nathi Mthethwa. I can see Basic Education Minister Njimo Tshekga, and quite a number of other South African delegates, and a significant, really significant visit to South Africa. And you'll remember, because this is a reciprocal visit, given the fact that President Cyril Ramaphosa did, of course, visit Cote d'Ivoire in December last year. You asked me about the relations that both these countries enjoy, and you'll remember that in 2015, in December, the bilateral relations were basically managed, or started being managed, by a joint commission for cooperation, which was signed in December 2015. That is basically a mechanism to facilitate the two countries' political, economic, as well as social relations. But it's quite significant also, given the trade relations, Hugo. We know that in 2019, the trade relations, or the revenue there, was sitting at around just 1.2 billion, and in 2021 it had increased. So they're looking at those relations to, of course, start increasing. We're going to try to just move a bit, Hugo. We're being told that, of course, they're going to be starting with the program, so we're going to move to the side. But as I've alluded, that it's a very important visit, which is set to get underway at exactly 10 o'clock.
Now, Linda, we've just come off the back of that Black Industrialists conference only a few days ago. Do you feel that this in any way will feed into some of the conversations that are likely to be had behind those closed doors as proceedings commence today?
It's hoped so, Hugo, given the fact that since that signing of that joint commission for cooperation in 2015, South Africa and Cote d'Ivoire have signed about 9 memorandum of understandings, and today's discussions will help facilitate all of that. There'll be more memorandum of understandings being signed by both countries. And if you look at, of course, also the benefits for South Africa in terms of agriculture, we know that Cote d'Ivoire is very huge when it comes to agriculture, and it feeds into the issue around food security in the continent. We're currently experiencing high fuel prices, and those are some of the important and significant discussions that will be had, given the fact that, of course, it's not only limited to the social aspect of things, but also the political as well as economics.
Linda Mnisi coming to us from Union's building, where Alassane Ouattara, the president of the Ivory Coast, will be in conversation with the President Cyril Ramaphosa during the course of this day. Now, Linda, obviously proceedings are set to commence. Do we know if South African business will be a part of these conversations at some point?
Well, at a later stage, Hugo, we're expecting that businesses will be, of course, a part of this visit. As I indicated earlier on, there was, of course, indication that there will be more discussions at the CSIR, and that program is particularly going to take place at around 3 o'clock. There's already a program that has also been set for that particular program. But as things stand, where we are now, the business is definitely not going to be taking part. In fact, it is just going to be those discussions between the two countries, as well as the signing of those memorandum of understanding. And then later on, then we're expecting to hear from both the President, Alassane Ouattara, as well as President Cyril Ramaphosa, on the outcomes of those discussions and what, the way forward will be. But at this point, business will not be taking part in this engagement. We know that it will be taking place here at the in Pretoria at the CSIR, but there's also a third session, which is the state banquet, which will take place at the Sefako Makgatho Presidential Guest House. That's where, of course, the President will be hosting the Cote d'Ivoire, or the President Ouattara there in that particular event.
We do know that since the establishment of that JCC, a number of MOUs have been signed in areas such as agriculture, mining, transport, telecommunications and defence. Do we have an indication of the success of those MOUs, what has come of them, and have they been progressive?
Well, we're expecting to hear all of that, Hugo, in the media briefing that will be held later on, in terms of how far, of course, some of those MOUs have been advanced and what the plans are regarding the new ones. It's unclear at this point how many they will be signing, but of course it will be quite significant to hear from both presidents in terms of the amount of work that still needs to take place. But if you look at also South Africa's investment portfolio in that particular West African country, MTN, Standard Bank, MultiChoice, and a number of others, which indicates that our investment portfolio is also increasing, which shows a level of interest in South Africa when you look at that particular country and what it has to offer.
Our reporter Linda Mnisi coming to us from Union Buildings, where President Cyril Ramaphosa is hosting his counterpart, President Ouattara, from the Cote d'Ivoire. We'll come back to that story top of the hour.